Man is in the building, of course. Jersey's finest, all about them bars, marijuana smoker. Hey, PSA announcement. I need everybody go support. That's right, support my fucking state, my city. Heritage Hip Hop, a New Jersey media source that celebrates New Jersey hip hop worldwide. Facts. And we are celebrating our legends right here, Jersey, baby. Please subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop on social media. That is Heritage Hip Hop on social media. Jersey, you know I love you. Jersey, you know we got bars and we got music and we got legends all day. And if you believe in Jersey and you love Jersey like I do, support that Heritage Hip Hop on all social media platforms. This is Redman and I approve this message.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. And guess what? Back-to-back nights, D.R.U.M.S Rugged. Not only are you making history with Heritage Hip Hop, we making history by going back-to-back on consecutive nights. So you're a part of history, bro. How I feel?
Good, man. Welcome. Thanks for welcoming me. Thanks for having me here, bro. Yeah.
All right, so everybody on here, make sure you should hit the like, subscribe button. If you're on, Bad Seed, what's going on, brother? Shout out to you. Got a show in Brooklyn coming up with Onyx and Smith & Wesson. Salute.
No
Everybody
doubt.
on Instagram, join us on YouTube. And all your comments and you can be a part of the show and the conversation that we're going to have tonight. Tonight, I have a MC who comes from Dallas, Texas, a hotbed of hip-hop history. He is an artist that not only composes himself on the microphone with a clear vernacular, but he makes sure he keeps certain elements of the culture alive in the type of music he makes. If you like rugged hip hop, which is bars, which is telling real life scenarios, which is more than just bouncing your head up and down to get the turn up, is thoughtful and provocative, then this is the artist that you need to check out. Because one thing about hip hop, it tells the truth. And the Bible says the truth will make you free, not set you free. It will make you free. And freedom is the destination of all people who are creatives. So, sir, give everybody your name and tell them why your hip hop is important.
Peace. What's up, everybody? This is D.R.U.M.S Rugged, hailing out of Dallas, Texas, as he mentioned. Yeah, man, my hip hop is important, man. It's just, a lot of the talk for years has been, hip hop is not good right now in the mainstream. I missed that earlier sound. I wish MCs would take it back. That's why I step in. And I pride myself on vintage sound in hip hop. There's nothing wrong with modern day boom bap. I want to rap over some of those beats too. I like that. The Griselda sound, all the day that was modern, you know what I mean? But to keep the true culture alive, I feel is very important if you're an MC, not a rapper. If you're an MC, I think it's very important for you to incorporate true school hip hop in your arsenal. That's always going to be important, man, for the future generations, because we got to keep this thing going, man. If we stop now, the game, you see how the game changes all the time. We're going to be yesteryear for real. You know what I mean? We're going to be gone for real. No one's going to talk about that era anymore. So we got to teach our babies so they can grow up and teach their babies. They can grow up and teach their babies about what true school hip hop is, man. And that I pride myself on being that kind of MC. And there's nothing wrong with it, man. You can modern day boom bap with true school sound and hip hop and still be pure hip hop. So bars, conscious subject matter, sample based hip hop, boom bap, hip hop and R&B, all that's from an era that is missed nowadays. Yo, Crab, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
My bad. A lot of people say in today's hip hop, is missing integrity. And a lot of people are not owning up to the words. They're just trying to catch a vibe. How do you feel about that?
That's true. No one's really taking any true accountability, man. Everybody wants to just vibe out. A lot of artists today, and we're talking mainstream artists, right? Because there's a lot of real heads out here who's representing that sound and carrying the torch, so to speak. But yeah, a lot of the younger generation, man, they just want to catch a vibe. They're not really into bars, rhyme structure, how you write, how you present your bars. Everything's kind of the same cadence, same BPM and all of that, which is fine, man. There's a time and place for everything, and hip hop changes and it grows and it expands to different things. But the whole aspect of not wanting to take this thing serious as far as being an MC, as far as being a writer, I feel like if everybody would tap into that, like a lot of the newer cats, and just put that into their arsenal, you can still vibe out. Case in point with Designer. He recently made a comeback with he's spitting. I don't know where that came from or what he's doing, but the brother sound nice compared to what he came in the game with, which was fine for that time and era. But I don't know if he just decided to go a different route. But I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, man. Just be more diverse with what you're doing.
But see, that takes accountability. And how does an artist stay accountable when the trends pay and accountability keeps you on the low end of the spectrum? What do you say?
I say don't worry about that. I say keep doing what you're doing, right? Because there's an audience for everything. You having that accountability just makes you more. It puts you at the forefront more, right? Everybody looks at you. You're a standout in today's time. So I think it's important that if you take accountability, that means you're representing you're putting a whole culture on your back, man. We've been longing for something real for a long time, and people to step up and really represent with no equivocations. You know what I mean? And don't be ashamed of that. Don't be feeling like you gotta succumb to what the status quo is today of hip hop. You know what I mean? Be real, be you, be yourself, be true, and people will follow along with that. People love that. They're seeking for authenticity, not just following along with everything, man. So MCs, please be accountable. Please, there's nothing wrong with it. There's no badge of shame with that. Keep true school hip hop alive, man. There's nothing wrong with it.
But that's hard, bro, because look at the Nas album. Nas seems to be a lightning rod in hip hop because Nas takes hip hop seriously and he holds himself and the culture accountable. And when he just came out with Light Years, in the first 2 weeks, Light Years was lambasted as one of the worst albums he could have ever put out.
Yeah.
But for the people who really have integrity in the art, they're saying, no, this is one of his best albums because it's true to the origins of the culture. Accountability means not only are you doing what people want, but it's also being true to yourself. Why is the self being lost with today's artists? And how can we fix that?
That's a good question, man. I just think that with today's time, with the internet, and the internet is like the new streets. So everybody comes to the internet to get the gossip, to get the latest, whatever's right. So you feeling a lot of MCs will feel like they need to kind of just go along with the fray, man. You're not so much feeling like I don't know. I can't explain it, man. This is repeat the question. Repeat the question.
Salute to DJ K1 out there. I'll take it another. I'll repeat the question, but ask it another way.
Right.
Because when you have people who don't appreciate the art, like I said, they don't appreciate this Nas album, and Nas keeps himself and the culture to a high accountability. It's hard to be that when people hate on the people who hold the culture at a high responsibility and they get shitted on. How does an artist keep that, especially when the trends seem to tell people what's hot, or that integrity seems to be not hot?
I think it depends on the era you come in. With Nas, and I'm a part of that era because I really appreciate the Light Years album. From our era, from our time, keeping certain standards is always important. We've been talking about that since we came into the game. I'm saying we like I'm up there with him, but you know what I mean. I'm part of that type of sound that they create. Um, so that we're gonna always uphold that no matter what, because we feel like that is the true foundation of what this thing really is. Wouldn't be any other type of spread out type of hip hop if we didn't lay this foundation, right? So if we continue to travel this path, right, we keep doing what we need to do, keep representing, keep preaching about it, keep talking about it, and not only that, but keep making the kind of music and not going over to these trends, right, and staying there, trying to like, okay, the time is this now. We need to stay over here. We don't need to go back to yesteryear because no one's feeling that. Yes, people are feeling that. People are, they want to hear it. The internet says a lot of stuff, but the streets tell the truth. The streets really want to hear some vintage hip hop. One of the critiques about the Nas album I saw online, a guy said he didn't really like it because it didn't sound like Nas is like. Well, Nas is like is an old school record. This whole album sounds like an 89, 90, 91, 92 album to me. You know what I mean? So what is it that you don't like about it? Premier, I think, was very creative when he sat down and made the beats for this album. I think he didn't care about nothing else but other than just being creative to a point to where he gives you that vintage sound, but it's kind of, he went in kind of different direction with it because it doesn't sound like 90s Primo. It gives you kind of that hint, but this is something new, fresh. You know what I'm saying? And modern day boom bap or modern day classics, as I like to call it, sounds real good today.
But then again, that's all comes with accountability, because as an artist, the truest thing you could do is express yourself. But a lot of people are expressing what is created for them, not things that come from their natural bodies, their natural minds, their natural glow, or their creative capacity. I mean, let's go into your home. Let's go to Dallas. What's something about Dallas that hip hop it should appreciate and can't deny it?
Speaking of diversity, it's that. If we're nothing else, we are that. We have a eclectic, man, of we're a hodgepodge of just rap, hip hop, boom bap, trap, trendy. You know, you come down here, you get whatever you want. You know what I mean? But when it comes to the kind of hip hop that I create, we have a long legacy here, man, of true school hip hop, man. And I really think people are not really tapped in with that because a lot of the quote unquote mainstream artists are getting a lot of attention. We've been out here for a long time. So to have that many artists out here who's been doing what we're doing for so long speaks a lot about the culture of hip hop down here in Dallas. It's not just trap and drill. It's not just traditional Southern rap. You know, we got real true school skills out here, DJs. The culture is alive out here, man.
Oh, okay. So is Dallas the hottest part of Texas when it comes to hip hop?
Nah, Houston, we are hand in hand. Now, some Houstonians will probably differ, will argue that. Now we got everybody comes to Houston and all this and all that. But we both have a rich hip hop scene. You know, despite what Houston may be known for mainstream wise, their hip hop scene is large too, and it's been large. So I think we're kind of neck and neck with that.
Okay. Is Dallas the home of D.O.C.?
Yes.
So D.O.C. is one of the earliest progenitors of Dallas hip hop?
Yes. Very early. Yes.
Shout out to the Fila Fresh crew.
No doubt.
And when you think about, besides them damn Cowboys, when you think about Dallas, right? The bass was always something that drove the system. Am I correct?
That's right.
So as Dallas hip hop evolved and seen the mainstream invade, because the mainstream invaded every territory. When the mainstream invaded Dallas, how did Dallas have to fight to keep its hip hop identity and integrity to you?
We're still fighting. We're still fighting. Just like I said, the mainstream artists get a lot of the shine. So you know, you ask people about if they think there's any real hip hop here in Dallas, they'll be nah. You know, it's Yellow Beezy, it's Trap Boy Freddy, it's Rest in Peace Mo 3, it's you know, the new guy, what's his name? X the Plug. Not if I'm messing up your name, brother, I apologize. But you know, these the guys that's the face of Dallas right now, hip hop or rap music. And real MCs, we're here fighting every day. You know what I mean, to try to keep this culture thing alive for our city, so we can put on, so the industry can come down here to us and be like, no, man, y'all really out here representing on some real shit. You know what I mean? But I feel like, you know, if we keep progressing, man, and we come together as a hip hop community, man, we could take over. We got that much talent out here, Karel. There's a lot of talent out here when it comes to hip hop, man. So we're still fighting, brother. We're still fighting.
So, do you deem a lot of modern hip hop today content creation?
Do I dig it?
Do you deem it? Do you define it as content creation? A lot of the new stuff that comes out today.
I mean, it is, but it depends on what one would like. If you like that type of content being created,
okay,
you know, that's why it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. Is there's an audience for everything.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are going to gravitate toward that type of content. Some not. You just got to find who's more invested in what you're doing.
So, what's the difference between content creation and cultural contribution when it comes to Dallas hip hop?
Ooh, that's a good one. But you and these questions. What's the difference between cultural creation and content creating?
Content creation and cultural contribution when it comes to Dallas hip hop.
Cultural contribution. Well, let's start with cultural contribution. So again, and not to sound redundant, man, but as far as the culture, we do keep that alive here. We've had, we're talking about DOC from that era. There's been a lot of break dancing. The DJ culture was strong here, and the MCs have always been on point. Shout out to my man DJ Easy A to D, who's got the longest running radio hip hop show in America. And I'm very serious about that. He keeps this thing going, man. He keeps it going. His contributions probably outweighs a lot of people down here, man. And but we as MCs and DJs and producers and beat makers, we contribute a lot to the culture, man. You just gotta tap in. I could speak about it all day. Content creating. That's some social media stuff, right? That's I don't even know what to say about that, man. It's a whole new thing with this internet. And I'm still trying to get used to everything about the internet, how it works and how to sell music and how to present yourself and all of that. So content creation and all, everybody's a content creator and what the content this, and everybody got something to say. And I don't know, man. It's just the biggest difference is I would say that cultural contribution outweighs that. You know, it's been here. You know, people contribution to the culture, hip hop. We still talk about, you know, representing the real and keeping things real and do you know, with all the time with music changing, you know, we're still saying, hey, this type of music still exists, this type of vibe still exists. Where the internet constantly changes and changing, we stay contribution to what's real. Where content creation will always change with the times. Whatever's new, whatever's hot, the new topic, the new this, the new that is always changing and is going somewhere else. While we're staying put, representing solid, and letting you know, no, we're right here. We see everything going on around us, but we're right here representing the culture.
But you know what's really weird about that instance, though? All content creation is not cultural, and all cultural things is not real content being created. Like, for instance, let's do some history, me and you.
Okay.
The radio was the king at one time, right?
Right.
Then the video became the king at one time, right?
Right.
Then after the video, the stream became the king, correct?
Yes.
But if you look at how everything's going now, the stream is about to die again to the video.
Yeah.
because the video is now coming back to the point where even the algorithms are changing to more television-based content than just people taking pictures and dancing. So if you have this knowledge of what's being created and how it's being represented of the culture, now the content being created has to perfectly reflect who you are, where you're from, and the reality of your existence, aka accountability. Am I correct?
Accountability. Yes, absolutely.
Shout out to the Brick City Babe. She said the people who contribute to the culture through content creation are likely the people who contribute in the world offline. Shout out to her. I'll put that right there on the screen because I wanted y'all to see that. She says, do you think the role of the DJ and the contribution to the culture has changed over time with the industry changes? What do you say, sir? Do you think the role of the DJ and their contribution to the culture has changed over time with the industry changes?
I wouldn't say change. I think it's got a boost up. I think it's stronger. The DJs, their role today, man, it's like to quote I forgot his name now, but they're always a good representation of being a national spokesperson for hip hop DJs, right? So with social media and DJs, everybody can DJ now. Everybody's doing their thing. DJs are real strong, man. So to be online, to move away from vinyl to everything being technology based, any ways that DJs can contribute to the culture and move it forward and get it put out there more, that's a big thing. So I think it's stronger today. I think it's real big today.
See, back in the day, you needed the DJ to break the record, and now you don't.
Right.
So now, when a DJ does something, the artist has to hold themselves accountable to how they react, how they treat the DJ, and the DJ has to be held accountable by being the one that actually takes on the job of breaking the art when the culture is playlisted. Yeah. Shout out to Raking. Raking said drums, aka Uncle Elroy, album wasn't bad. I don't know what that means, but okay, I guess he gave you a shout out.
No doubt. Peace. What up, Rob?
I will say this, out of respect for you though, because this is your interview.
Yeah.
The one thing I enjoy about how you create your music, you're not just talking. You're absolutely encapsulating the old school role hip hop once had as street reporter, life reporter, the person who's telling you what life is rather than what you want it to be. Yeah. You have a song on your album that we're going to touch on that reminds me of one of my favorite Coogee rap songs called Streets of New York. Okay. You know, that's one of my favorite Coogee rap songs of all time.
That's a classic, yeah.
It is. And one thing about that song, a real artist not only paints the picture, but he could bring you into the world, to the world that you're creating by putting the story and the narrative together. Why do you think it's so hard for most of these artists to bring people into their world today?
Because they're not doing them, I feel like what's hot, what's the trend, what the industry says you're supposed to be doing out here gets in the way of that. You know, if you're going to be truly authentic to yourself and bring out what you feel is important, you have to tap in with that, man. You can't get sidetracked with the noise outside of that. You know what I mean? You got to stay in your lane and just really represent for that, man. Go hard with that. Go hard with that, man.
Give me 1 second. One part about being real that I really want hip hop to ingest when we talk about accountability is the image that we give out. We have so many talented artists that can't work together. We have so many people from all over the world who do hip hop saying we all need to support each other. Ain't nobody got each other back, and ain't nobody this and ain't nobody that. When it comes with a sense of community, I want to challenge you as an MC to see what you think about this statement I'm gonna make.
Okay.
Hip hop can't come together and our culture can't come together because our cultures are rooted in individualism. When we kill individualism, will hip hop grow? What is your opinion?
If we kill individualism, will hip hop grow? Yeah, no, I feel like when you say individualism, you mean just the MC?
I mean, period. Because think about this. I'm gonna get deep philosophical, and I'm gonna bring you back to my question. We live in America. America under colonialism was built on capitalism, which means I.
Right.
And when you have the I mentality, even when you praise God, the reward is what I get. But yet, whenever you read the Bible, it's all about community, nation building, legacy, and giving God his just due by sowing seeds in your children to make a nation of believers. In today's America, the nation is divided because one, race, two, individualism, and three, greed. Now, when it comes to hip hop is fueled by being the top artist, the most streams, who makes the most money. Not all, I mean, like mainstream, whatever, you can say whatever, but realistically, hip hop is about being the best. It's individualistic. And there's nothing wrong about being your individual best. But when it comes to the community and the culture, individualism is not what's going to move the culture forward.
I see.
So, do you think when that individualistic ideal dies, the culture will grow?
No, you're gonna need a community to help build it and help keep it going. Um, there's no I in team, if I can say that. It takes a village to raise a child, right? So if we're gonna keep hip hop going, if we're gonna keep it progressing for years and years to come, we all have to come together at some point in some shape, form, or fashion to really keep the integrity, uh, keep the culture alive. It can't just be about you, I, me, because we can't do it all by ourselves. I can't do everything in my own personal life by myself. There's some help along the way with something that I'm gonna have to call on somebody to do something with. So no, if it's all on individualism, it won't grow. I feel like it won't grow.
Brick City Babe says money is made from hip hop, but the culture of hip hop is about the same. It's always been about, which is money. And that's my thing. Poverty has been weaponized in a way so that now the individual has to come out of poverty. But then the juxtaposition of that is when that person makes it, then they're the sellout because they changed. Or they're taking care of people, and then you know what I'm saying? And it cycles through the culture, mainstream and underground, because the underground, some underground are all wanting to be mainstream. Some mainstream want to keep it to the underground sound, but they got to be the best to do it. And when it comes to being the best, you got black text. We have all these things that hurt hip hop that makes accountability the enemy of the artist, and the artist just wants to be heard and make their music. But then again, people are like, but you're not being the true you, so we have to fix it. I believe now in 2026, hip hop is healing, but hip hop is definitely sick. We have people who are making, like, shout out to Nas for the Paid in Full Foundation and all the other stuff that he has, where he's honoring the elder rappers and giving the younger ones something to look forward to. Shout out to Curtis Blow and Chuck D and KRS-One, who make the hip hop union so rappers could get pensions. We see the growth, but that's community movement.
That's community. That's right.
Not buy my album and put me as the king of your block or of your town, of your city, of your state, and worship me, and let's get me this money.
Right. Yeah, that's all the come together effort. That's right, man.
See, everybody, we talk about real hip hop on Heritage Hip Hop Podcast, and we're here with D.R.U.M.S Rugged. If you're on Instagram, thank you for joining us. Make sure you come to the YouTube so your comments can be a part of the show, like Brick City Babe right here. Shout out to her.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to everybody chipping in on the comments. We want y'all to join in. This is the new Heritage Hip Hop Podcast, where not only we introduce you to your future favorite artists today, we also are telling you about the thing that makes hip hop great, you. We will be back after this break, where we will focus on D.R.U.M.S Rugged's new album, and we're going to talk some real stuff. So stay tuned to this.
Where you get your hip hop from?
Yeah, what's up? This Tribal Trigger Trench in the building. You already know, nip, naughty.
Hey, Redman is in the building, of course. Jersey's finest, all about them bars, marijuana smoker. Hey, PSA announcement. I need everybody go support. That's right, support my fucking state, my city. Heritage Hip Hop, a New Jersey media source that celebrates New Jersey hip hop worldwide. Facts. Please subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop on social media. That is Heritage Hip Hop on social media.
What up, y'all, man? It's your boy Do It All, Do Pray Kelly, right here on Heritage Hip Hop, man. Look, man, let me tell you something. Make sure you support Heritage Hip Hop, because without these brothers bringing you hip hop, we're not gonna stay informed, man, the way that we need to stay informed, man. And they're not just giving you hip hop, man. They're giving you the heritage of hip hop right here, man. Yo, Kareem, I see you. Heritage Hip Hop, man. Let's do it.
It ain't nothing like Heritage Hip Hop.
Yo, salute to y'all for joining the Heritage Hip Hop podcast with my brother D.R.U.M.S Rugged. One of my brothers is in here too. Hey, Drums, I got a dope MC in here. His name is Reachin' Nova. Reachin' Nova will appear on the Heritage Hip Hop show soon. And he said hip hop is divided between those who live the culture versus those who've gone corporate. And that brings me to your album, Keep It Rugged. Because to be corporate, you can't be rugged. To be corporate, you have to have a little bit of shine on you. You can't
be a little
talk
polished.
Yeah, you can't tell the truth. You can't. And let me give you a perfect analogy of rugged.
Okay.
When you think about going to church, when you see the altar, it's finely cut. Some are made of glass, some are made of wood. It looks pretty, and they put a cloth over it, correct?
Right.
But in the Old Testament, when you made an altar to God, God said, pile up some rocks together the way I tell you, and just burn your animal on that. Which means it wasn't polished. It wasn't clean cut. It was natural. It was from the creator himself. And you gave it back to him, giving your best off of the raw intent of wanting to be loyal. And hip hop has the lost art of loyalty, where now people do what's trendy and not doing what's right. Tell me about the Keep It Rugged album and how you did it right instead of keeping it trendy.
Well, let's back it up, right? So keep it rugged basically means just keep it true, keep it real, keep it authentic. And I gave you various aspects of my style, of me keeping it true to what I do, from storytelling to just bars, food for thought, just some conscious lyrics, because that's what I grew up on. In hip hop, that has always been the foundation, right? To keep it real and keep it true and represent and all that, right? So, like you're absolutely right. We're going corporate. You can't be any of that. You can't tell your truth, because when you speak the truth nowadays, they come for you, like in gangbusters, right? You tell the truth, you speak it, man, you ruffle some feathers for real. My album, man, it's the truth as far as the sound, the gritty sound, the yesteryear sound, as far as that yesteryear meaning just old, but yesteryear meaning the type of subject matter that's on it. You don't really hear a lot of that today. So that's me keeping it rugged, keeping it true in today's time, if that answers the question.
It answers the question perfectly, because truth is what divides. Like I said, truth will make you free, because being made free from truth means you're away from the constraint of a lie. People will live a lie perfectly, and people will run from the truth. And there's some truth that you told in this album that I really think needs to be talked about, like track number 8, Egos. Tell me about Egos and where you were going with that song.
Egos, man, so there was no main concept for the album initially. As me and Kawan went along, I started thinking like we need more of a, because I could have just made this all bars with a name like Keep It Rugged, the sound could have just been all hardcore, boom bap, dark, grimy. Just I'm going Onyx mixed with MOP type flavor, right? I want to be diverse with the subject matter because I love conscious lyrics. I love Tribe, Daylight, a smooth melodic sound, but I love hardcore, grimy stuff like G-Rap, Mob Deep stuff too. So Egos came about with me just wanting to be different. You know, I'm sitting around thinking, well, Egos has been talked about before in songs. I mean, look at the Beyonce and Kanye West song. Ice Cube just put out a song called Egos, ironically. You know what I mean? So it's nothing new under the sun, but my perspective just comes from a guy thinking he's all that because of what he has. He kind of condescending when he talks to people, and just really thinking he all that in a way to where it aggravates people. The second verse talks about how a woman can be egotistical. You know, what's the old saying? She got to use what she got to get what she wants, right? So she downplays certain brothers that just work hard, decent job, 9 to 5, making it. She don't want that. She want the foreign dudes. She want the dudes with all the money. She wants to, you know, and they gravitate toward her because of her physique, just being sexy, and she knows she's extra pretty. You know what I mean? So she's just big-headed, man. You know, and I just wanted to make a song, man, kind of representing that from my perspective. I've always liked that type of subject matter, and that's what Egos really is about, man. Just keeping it rugged with that concept, man.
The ego is the blanket that hides people's insecurities, though. And you attack a lot of insecurities on your album, whether they're rapping about someone's life or even giving little secrets to things you've seen in your own life. One of the insecurities or songs that tackle insecurities was Sharon Stone. Why don't you talk about that for me?
Very serious topic. I was talking with Kawan the other day, and I was telling them, like, that topic, drug use, crack cocaine, you don't hear that no more like in the 80s. Remember in the 80s, that was real big. Crack cocaine, somebody on the pipe. You know, that subject matter was heavy in hip hop. I kind of want to bring it back because it's still a thing. There's still people who sick out here who's on those kind of drugs, not just today's kind of drugs. People are still smoking crack, Korea. They're still on the pipe. You know what I mean? It's a real serious thing, man. I want to bring more attention to it and bring it back up, and give it from a woman's perspective, because women go through this stuff too. It ain't just the guys that's out here falling victim to this thing, man. So I made it about a woman who has a daughter whose baby daddy left her, right? They was together, they was living fine, everything was good. For whatever reason, he decided to bounce. Like, I can't do this no more, fuck it, I'm out. You know what I mean? But she took that hard, right? And she just fell into a life of just drugs. I'm giving up. Why would this man leave me? The abandonment, you know, led her to start just partying, neglecting responsibilities, and turn to drugs, man. And ultimately that took her life at the end of the song. So I wanted to give it a perspective that this thing is still out here. It's still real, whether people talk about it or not. Right now, in any probably projects, you can find a basshead, a crackhead, and they still probably have a pipe, man. So Sharon Stone, and then of course the flip on the name, the actress Sharon Stone, I thought would be clever. You know what I mean? And just flip to Sharon Stoned, right? So that's what that's about.
I want to sidetrack. Trauma is the bastard parent of hip hop. Poverty is one, but trauma is the other thing. Drug use, murder, self-worth, racism, death. Those are things that always seem to hit the topic of hip hop. Why do you think it's so important for hip hop to always have that in its DNA when it comes to conveying the message of it?
Because that's life. You take that out of life, then I think the subject matter would change. Right? If there's no more death, if there's no any more drug use, if there's no any more hardships in life, then the content of lyrics will change. You know, you hear rappers all the time talking about keeping it real and keeping it rugged. They rap about their environments, the things that they see in their neighborhood, the things that they grew up with that affects their life and people around them. So it's always going to be important as long as rappers want to rap about reality, not just gangster rap. It's reality rap was the original name for it anyway, right? So I think it's still important to talk about that because it's just still out here. You know, today is kind of different with the generation today. Every generation is different with street life and harsh realities and whatnot, the things we go through in today's time. But nevertheless, man, it's still all the same, and it's going to be talked about in some shape, whether it's trap music or just authentic, real hip hop, like how I would do it from my perspective.
But being real with you, even when you bring up the negativity, you also have to bring up the positivity as well. Because life is about duality. There's ups, there's downs, there's lefts, there's rights, there's ons, there's off. Bible says there's
Correct.
a time for peace, a time for war. And even on this album, though you talk about death, you talked about drug use, you talked about a person having a hard life, you still have songs like Angel and Supremely Speaking. Tell me about
Right.
those two songs and how they balance out your album.
Well, Angel. So Angel, shout out to my ex, man, because that's really a song I made for her. That song wasn't really initially going to go on the album. That's just a song I made for my ex-girlfriend, man. I've always tried to, when I had relationships, I would make rap songs about them, right? You know, I would do my I Need Love, you know, records, you know, about them and everything. So, and initially I was a little worried about putting it on the album because like, well, it's more of a softer record, don't fit with the rest of the, but then I was, you know, people was telling me, no, love songs, you put that on there. That's dope. A lot of people not doing that today. So we went with that narrative. And that's all that Angel is, man. It's just about not only my ex-girlfriend, but just if you're married, if you're in a relationship, y'all been together for a long time, you're honoring your woman, you're appreciating her, you're putting her on the pedestal, and it's just showing reverence to your lady in your life, man. Supremely Speaking, you know, shout out to all the guys in the earths out there. You know, that's been part of hip hop's DNA since the beginning too. I always found that the Nation of Islam or the 5% Nation of Gods and Earth a very interesting topic. The message that they deliver always intrigued me, to greet each other with peace, God, and their whole philosophies about life, which they consider themselves scientists of life, right? I want to make a record. Shout out to my boy Robot Millennium, real 5%, true to the core 5% brother right there. Good brother. Shout out to you. I tapped in with him, man, to kind of, you know, give me some assistance with it, man. And we wanted to put this song together just for today's generation to let them know you are a God, you are somebody, you are, you know, be proud of your heritage, be proud to be a black man. And you got responsibilities out here as a black man to teach the next black man, to teach the youth, to teach this nation moving forward to keep thriving and getting better and going against the system, man. So Supremely Speaking was a fun record to make. And it balances out the album because Keep It Rugged, Rugged City 2, all the harder records, I wanted to get that balance because again, I am a mixture of different type of flavors of hip hop from back in the day. Conscious, hardcore, lyrical, storytelling. I wanted to put it all on this album, man.
And I think you did so good. Kawan said we were on the fence with Angel for a minute, but it's good that y'all put it on there because it shows another side of you as an artist. Their album, Keep It Rugged, is available right now on bandcamp.com or the Bandcamp app. I ask that you go check it out. And if you like it, stream it. If you love it, buy it. That's it. Nothing else ought to be said. Not only that, my man got a $200 single on here.
No, I don't, y'all. Okay. Just brought that to my attention, y'all.
So check this out. The album is curated by you and DJ Kawan. Shout out to DJ Kawan, my dude.
Shout out, bro.
What did his sound bring out of you that made this project the journey you wanted to take instead of making a project that you just wanted to make?
Right, and I talked about this before. So when making this album, I had just come off putting out 2 projects in 2020. I released them in 2024. The Rugged Features compilation and the Culture Shock EP. By the time I hooked up with Kawan, I was kind of just tired, man, creatively, and not really sure what direction I wanted to go. But when I did a song off his off his album called There's Something Out There, which is featured on his Heat Tape project. So once we did that, I hit him up and I was like, man, this came out really good. I think we should do a project, man, you know, like an EP or something. Because initially Keep It Rugged was just going to be an EP, right? But as time went on, we decided to make an album out of it. But his sounds, his production, because he had just got back into doing production, so this was kind of a good time, and it was just refreshing, Karev. It was the beats were right up my alley. They were right up my alley, man. His style, and it's funny because Keep It Rugged and Rugged City 2 were actually beats he made. They were newer beats. Initially, he would just sending me tracks and I would pick what I liked and we would put the project together. But he made Rugged City 2 and Keep It Rugged recently. So he just brought out of me, man, a more rejuvenated focus. He kind of just for lack of words, hyped me back up because I had lost so much creative energy putting out those other two projects. I mean, I put a lot into those last two projects and I needed a break, but getting with Kawan and how real of a brother he is, and his energy and all his just, you know, things that he brought to the table, man. I was like, you know what, man, let's do this project. I'm all in. And the Supremely Speaking beat is one of my favorite tracks. Angel was dope. The intro and the outro too, I gotta say, was something new he made. You know, those weren't just tracks he sent me that he had previously. So just a rejuvenated focus, man. I was ready by the time I hooked up with him, and we got to it, man. We got right to it.
So how is Drums Rugged a different MC on Keep It Rugged than he was on the Reflection single?
That's a good question. There's growth in my life since that song. I wrote and recorded that song 2022. My mother passed right during the COVID shutdown. She didn't die from COVID, but that weekend they locked down Dallas as a city. She went into the hospital, and my life took a different turn, bro. Let me tell you, my mother died. It changed everything for me. So moving forward, as far as music, when I wrote that song, I wanted to come from a place of honesty, vulnerability. I just wanted to kind of get more personal with it. And by the time we got to where Keep It Rugged is, I think there's an elevation in delivery with me, content wise. Because, you know, I didn't used to always be a conscious MC. I was just lyrical, miracle, right? Just I'm this, I'm that, you're not, you know. As I grew, man, I wanted to kind of get more content, more deeper, more things to actually talk about. You know what I mean? Instead of just talking about how good I am. So that elevated within that time of reflection and Keep It Rugged, right? With the subject matter, and even with the Rugged Features album, right? Because there's not many songs on the album on that project, what it's like with Keep It Rugged.
Shout out to Reaching Nova. He said, appreciate y'all for elevating hip hop with the discussion. He said, to you, Drums Rugged, happy you rejuvenated your creative spirit and returned to the microphone. Wishing you the best, family. Stay true. Love.
Peace and blessings, bro. Thank you.
The one thing I like about your music is the message, because the message could come either way. It could be straightforward or it could come with an uppercut, which means when you get in the song, you're like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like that. One of my favorite songs is Tears of a Clown by Smokey Robinson. You familiar?
No, yeah, of course.
And you remember there's a part of that song where he's singing from the point of a murderer, correct?
Yes.
He said, I like Pagliacci did. Pagliacci was the clown y'all see with the smiley face and the frown face. The smile comes with a tear because he's hiding the fact that he murdered his wife, but he still has to put on for society to keep an innocent composure. Tell me about smiles and frowns, because emotions play a part in how you walk the stage of life, even as a creative.
Talking about an uppercut. So that's a sneak attack right there. I didn't expect that one. You know what I mean? You, Corey, if you out here paying attention, brother, I see you. Smiles and frowns. So let's take it back. Shout out to my man Wilderness, who produced that track, Wilderness Instrumental, and shout out to my man Chief Rocks, who's on that song with me. Smiles and Frowns is about the industry and hip hop, where it is currently as far as things that go on in the industry that might be foul, that makes you question your integrity with where you want to go with your career. You know, I'm trying to remember some of the lyrics to the song, but basically my verse is talking about that. It's talking about all the debauchery in the music today, all the things that go on that's foul, that makes you frown with the industry, right? Smiling with the industry will be to be able to be yourself, to give the kind of art you want to give, right? To do what you want to do and feel comfortable without any type of compromise. But you frown because the industry says no. You know, if you're going to be a part of this thing for real, there are certain guidelines and rules you have to abide by to be in this type of game. So smiles and frown is just that, man. It's about the ups and downs in the game and how you deal with it.
Well, let's deal with a down in the game. Lack of accountability. See how this go 360,
Go
y'all?
into full circle.
Yo, God makes the thing work, and great music makes easy conversation. Accountability, once again, is the main crux of hip hop.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you this when it comes to being accountable. What can you do to elevate hip hop and make it better beyond making music?
That's a good one. What can I do to make hip hop better outside of music? I would say, you know, you can help people, man. You can talk. Your message doesn't have to be in the music all the time. Your help doesn't have to come from music. If you can contribute in a way that will elevate someone's life by just speaking with them, man. You know, a lot of times people go through things and, you know, they feel like they're alone, you know, and sometimes you just need somebody to listen, someone to, sometimes you just need some help in life, man, you know, basically, you know what I mean? And if you feel like you're ever alone, the music could really help you. We know that music is healing, right? You listen to some songs that'll get you through tough times. Well, you can do that by just being a friend with somebody, being a true friend, right? With that's dime a dozen, right? You're having true friends, man. That's you got to keep them close. You know what I mean? So, but it's just different contributions you could do, man, to help hip hop grow. That you don't have to do with music, man. I'm not in the industry, but from an independent level, you can buy merch, you can share posts, you can it doesn't have to be rapping, it doesn't have to be making beats. You could just make a post shouting somebody out, you know what I mean? Like if I want to make a post, yo, check out my man Karel's show, yada yada yada. He's taking hip hop conversation on a higher level. He's doing this, he's doing that, and I ain't dropped one bar, and that's helping the culture. That's help growing it, right? So no, man, it can be just through talking, you know, and lending a helping hand.
I love that answer because there's no wrong answer to that question.
Right.
It goes to so many different places. And you said I could talk to someone without even dropping a bar.
Yeah.
But your album does just that. And the Keep It Rugged project is the album that I believe shows the world the importance of the third person perspective. The first person, you live it. The second person, you report it. but in the third person, the world is built by the perspective you have of seeing the person live the action.
I like
And
that.
you've been able to paint the picture exquisitely.
Thank you.
So, hey man, I appreciate you. So give people your social media and let them know you got a minute. Let's go. Why Keep It Rugged is necessary for their playlist or collection. Go.
Keep It Rugged is important for your playlist, for your life, for your hip hop music likeness and all of this. Because man, it's a diverse to what you got, right? Or it's an addition to what you have. Like if you already got this kind of hip hop, Keep It Rugged is another notch in your belt with that. You need Keep It Rugged, man, for truth, for authenticity. You need Keep It Rugged because it's just pure straight hip hop. So we want to keep this thing going, right? Buy Keep It Rugged, man, on Bandcamp. Drums Rugged Bandcamp. drumsrugged1.bandcamp.com. drumsrugged1.bandcamp.com. Shout out to my man DJ at Mad Good Records. He's distributing the cassette tapes right here. Madgoodrecords.bandcamp.com. Madgoodrecords.bandcamp.com. Kawan also has CDs and cassettes available on his website, DJKawanMusic.com. It's on his website. You can purchase the CD and cassette there. I'm on all social media platforms: YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Bam Bam, all that. You know what I mean? And it's all Drums Rugged. There's nothing different about it. It's all Drums Rugged. You can find me there. And keep it rugged, man. It's a breath of fresh air in today's time. If you're sick of trap and drill, if you're sick of all the mess that people complain about in hip hop, buy this album, stream the album, listen to the album. I also have merch. The Pretty Rugged line is for women. It's called Pretty Rugged. I have the Keep It Rugged line. I got a line called Certified Rugged, and I got many other items to come too, man. So I'm out here doing my thing, Karel, man. I appreciate you, brother, man. Again, I've been wanting to get on your show. I love your questions. I love how you analyze and break stuff down. This is dope. Heritage Hip Hop Podcast, man. This is where you need to be if you're an artist, man. Come on through, holler at your boy K, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Because he took a whole nother side of the interview all by himself. And that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? But before we get out of here, it's time for us to play our game. Y'all know what game it is. Drums, what's the name of the game? The rapid fire questions.
Let's go.
Not yes, no questions, but we show the depth of the knowledge of the MC. Before we get into that, rugged means truth to you. So what does the acronym DRUMS mean?
Dope rhythms, unlimited mic skills. I'm going to say it again. Dope rhythms, unlimited mic skills. Yeah.
Truthfully, rugged. You
right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we're gonna see about his dope rhyme skills and unlimited and all that stuff. We're gonna know about all that. And here we go right now. What's the perfect beat in hip hop? Meaning if you had this beat, it would have been your first single.
Let the rhythm hit him.
Whoa. Damn, that's a good one. So now that you told me that, what is the perfect album or single by another artist that perfectly describes you?
Woo. God. Say it again.
What is the perfect album or single from another artist, their catalog, that perfectly describes you?
KRS-One.
Which one?
Return of the Boom Bap.
The album?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a great album too. Is there one song on there that you like the most?
What? That's the start of the police.
That's yours? Mine is Higher Level. Higher Levels, that's the song that made me
I forgot about that one. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs of all time. Let's go to the next question. We did the album. We did your identity. Here's the next one. There are certain messages that hip hop keeps tight to itself, but there's certain things hip hop has not explored. What hasn't hip hop talked about yet that you would like to hear in its music?
That's a real good question, Karel. I feel like hip hop's talked about a lot of stuff from the 70s to right now today. And and things are a bit redundant, you know, over the years, but what is a topic that I would like to hear today that hasn't really been talked about? Man, that's a good one, because I feel like it's all been said just in different ways. You know, I was talking with somebody about that the other day. What else could we rap about out here? You know, and I've always challenged myself to find just different stuff. Cutting the grass. How can I make a song about cutting the yard, a chore, interesting enough to make people gravitate toward it? I mean, I'm just throwing something out there, man. I don't know, because I feel like a lot of the subject matter has been talked about, but I guess anything, man, any, if you can make it interesting, then that's what is not been talked about.
Okay. Let's do some mainstream hip hop.
Yeah.
And compare it to indie hip hop.
Okay.
Mass Appeal did a great album run. Do you believe?
Oh, absolutely.
And you're part of a collective too. Am I right?
Yes, I am.
If you can mirror Mass Appeal with your squad, how would you do a Legends Have It with your own squad? How would you set it up?
Boy, you was on it. Of course, we gotta keep my man Kawan at the forefront, man, because he's gonna do all of them. He's gonna do every last project, man. The run, you mean what? Give you a breakdown of what order who would come like they did and all that?
How would you do it?
I would go, you know what? I would go Kawan first with an album. Let him showcase everybody. This is what you can get ready and get coming down the pipe. I'll go with Travesty next with an album. I'll go with Notes after him. My man Lindor will follow that. And I will go last. I will go last because I feel like we could all reconvene and do a cut on my album to really kind of just tie it all together. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think Kawan should start it out. Shahim, all the projects started out, and I can finish it up. Put the bow and tie on that thing, man. Yeah.
Mass Appeal made everybody get into their creative bag and want to release music again, but they did something creatively outside of it with the buses, the comic books, the pop-ups and everything. If there was another way to sell your music besides being an album, how would you accompany your music in a way that you would market it that expresses you outside of music that can complement your music?
I like the comic book idea because I'm a big fan of Marvel and DC and all that too. So, of course, it would be in my own way and everything, but that's one big way I would do it. I would get with maybe you know what? I would get with the school systems, man, for these kids. You know what I mean? And present a certain kind of hip hop out here to push positivity, creativity, you know, anything good, and that I can attach my name and music to that can help these kids out here, man, follow a different path, and to teach them about what real true school hip hop is all about, withstand on a positive note, man, by being righteous, man. I would do that because I've always wanted to do something like that. Get with the school system, and start with them young, you know, and work our way up to high schools, and then we can even do a college thing. You know what I mean? So I could push the music through education.
All right, facts.
Yeah.
Now Mass Appeal is doing the Imagine That, where a person could pick an artist and an artist and producer to make a song for the next run of Legend Has It. That might be Legend Has It Part 2. We don't know yet, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you for your top three. If you can have your top three artist, or artist producer tracks that would make you happy, what would they be? Oh, guess what? Mass Appeal did Posthumous, so Dead or Alive.
I said it the other day when you was talking with Lucky Lefty. I would like to see Organized Confusion come back. One of my favorite groups. I would like to get Prince Poe and Pharaoh Munch back together and do something amazing. Let's go. Let's get Freshco and Miz back in the game. You know what I'm saying? Freshco and Miz had a couple of singles, We Don't Play and Ain't You Freshco, early 90s. I would love to see them brothers come back if they're still doing music. That'd be dope, man, because Freshco was nice. He was nice. Um, um, man, who else? Can we get a Kane and G-Rap album? Let's get a Kane and G-Rap album, or Rakim and G-Rap, or Rakim and Kane. You know, because them three always been paired together over the years. I would like to see a matchup with them over some dope production. Everybody's been talking about it. Everybody's been wanting it. They always put together a doggone album. Then put together an album, man. I would support that. Yeah.
You think that would work?
I think
Rakim,
it would work.
G-Rap, and Kane.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Oh yeah.
That would be interesting. I would. That would be interesting. All right. So here's another. Wow. That would be interesting, because I just lost my train of thought on the questions off of that one. That would be interesting, because I would like to see if their styles fit. I would like to see if their styles fit.
I think they can make it work. I think they can make it work. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? With Mass Appeal redoing the posthumous thing, and Eric Sermon's creativity with Dynamic Duos Volume 1, I would love to hear Marvin Gaye and Sam Cooke over Dr. Dre production.
Stop it.
That would be beautiful.
That'd be nice, man.
That would be beautiful, because you never know what you get. You never know. Imagine that gave us the platform to be fans again. And that's what I think hip hop has been missing for a long time. It's been so consumer driven that the fans weren't being serviced.
Right.
And I want to ask you this: as a fan, what do you appreciate about hip hop now that was possibly dying off until this point, until you've seen it come back?
What do I appreciate that was dying off, and that's I see it coming back now? You know what? The respect for the golden era. Okay. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people talking that golden era talk right now, out of coming from a place of respect and love, and missing it, man. Today's music is just, there's not much more we can say about how much we don't like today's music. It's been said 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways. People want what they miss. We tell them old school stuff every day, right? So I appreciate a lot of artists, and some of these artists and fans. As a fan, they're gravitating toward nostalgic type flavor, whether it be clothes, the movies. You see these kids today with these reaction videos on YouTube, or going back and listening to the old music, and they're appreciating it. And their first reaction is just like our first reaction in the 80s and 90s when we first heard the albums, right? And they're doing movies the same way. So I appreciate that, man, that they taking the time to realize what made music special in the first place as far as hip hop.
Let's wind this interview down with some fire. My next question to you is this: what is since you ain't working with Kawan has brought out a fire in you, right?
Yeah.
Who would you like to collab with on a Kawan track to show people not only how dope you are, and not only how dope Kawan is, but how dope hip hop is?
Anybody. You saying anybody, whether it be famous or independent or whatever
you want. Imagine that.
He's my favorite MC, man, and I hate to sound cliche, but if we're gonna go famous or established veteran artists, if we gotta go Nas, man. I would love to do a dope conscious record with Nas over a Kawan beat. I would want to do a song with if he was still here, Sean Price, one of my favorite MCs. Uh, you know, shout out to my man Notes 82, because I was just talking with him the other day about doing something. So I would love for me and him to get together on the Kawan track, man, and lay something nice, a dope storyline. We just kill the game with, man. You know what I mean? Me and him back and forth on some story, cohesive type flavor. Uh, and you know what, man? Shout out to this brother, because he's been putting in work, and I'm a recent fan of his. And I really like what him and his team is doing. Shout out to Bad C. If you're watching, bro, I would love the honor of me, you, and the Kawan track. Um, that nigga dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yo,
Yeah.
and he would sound definitely dope on some Kawan beats. And I would love to do that with him, man, for sure.
Shout out to the Bad Seed 6-Man Entertainment.
Yeah.
You already answered. Would you want somebody to come up on Heritage Hip Hop? You already gave me the plug. Thank you very much. So I want to end the episode off with my same question to ask for every person who comes on for the first time. 500 years from now, when the AI gets somebody hit a red button and the AI pops out the wall and they see Drums Rugged, you standing like this, they read your biography, it was read to them, and they hear your music, you're going to inspire people 500 years from now into the future. What is the legacy you leave behind that made hip hop dope because you did hip hop culture and hip hop music?
I kept it real, man. I kept it true to myself. I contribute to the culture, man. What it stood on in the beginning, right? I got Kane, Rakim, Melly Mel, Ice-T. I got all them brothers on my back, you know what I mean? And standing on my shoulders, man, like, yo, if I was in that era, they would be proud of me right now. You know what I mean? So that, 500 years from now, somebody looking at Drums Rugged, I want them to really appreciate and know that this brother really put on for the culture. He didn't compromise anything. He didn't try to go over this way because this is where everybody else is going. He stayed right in the center. He planted his feet, and he represented that hip hop flag, man. And again, I say that with no equivocations, brother. You know what I mean? I love hip hop. It saved a lot of lives. Um, it kept me, dealing with mental illness a little bit myself. Man, hip hop was a good escape to write and make beats, because I used to make beats and DJ too. I did it all, Karel. Yeah, I did it all. Too bad we don't have time to talk about that, but I want them to know that, man, that I didn't deviate from the culture. I stayed true to it, and I carry the flag, and I keep burning that torch, man. Word up.
Shout out to everybody who put on listened and watched the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast tonight with my man Drums Rugged. Shout out to my man Tawan up in the building. Peace to you. Everybody on Instagram, I hope you joined us on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, once again, thank you to you for being on the show. Make sure you go Mad Good Records, DJKawan.com. Get them tapes and CDs over there in his hands. Make sure you support the independent artists. If you like it, stream it. If you really like it and you love it, buy it. That's all I ask.
Yes, sir.
Today, for those of y'all who don't know, Heritage Hip Hop has been sparingly on because I've been going through a lot of personal things. And today was the day I buried one of my friends, my brother, my mentor, one of the best MCs I've ever heard. His name is Shaw Skills. This is his name on his shirt. This is my top 5. Shaw Skills, Redman, Tretch, 10-1, and Double O, the Jersey hip
What's
hop.
up?
And to the family, to the hip hop nation, the Jizza said that, whenever anybody dies in hip hop, it's devastating. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This has been the hardest time I've had since my own personal tragedy with my house. And today I had to put a friend in the grave. And this wasn't just a friend who I kicked it with. He taught me about MCs, God, life, manhood, humbleness, love. He taught me about being accountable. Shout out to Notes 82 in the building. And when you have good people in your circle, in your life, y'all make sure you tell them and you appreciate them. Men, take care of your health. Don't wait to get sick. If you just feel anything, please go, especially if you have children and people up under you, because they look to you, and the loss of a parent, the loss of a friend, the loss of a companion, it's one of the worst feelings in the world. And though we all have to walk that walk, please, if you could do anything to prevent it and be with your loved ones that much longer, I ask that you do it. Shaw Skills is my man. And keeping it real with you, That's my friend. And I will fly his flag until I can't fly the flag anymore. And I thank D.R.U.M.S Rugged for letting me say that on his interview, because when he talked about losing his mother, that was a day for me where losing my mom and my dad was very, very hard. And it made me go into myself to become the better man. Losing my friend is something that really is hard. And I think people like D.R.U.M.S Rugged and people who make good and great hip hop music, because it's your music that heals me, it's your music that heals the culture, and it's your music that keeps heritage hip hop alive and keep going. So thank you for appearing on the show.
Thank
Everybody,
you.
thank you for appearing. If you like heritage hip hop tonight, all I ask is that you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Check out this QR code in the top right corner to go to heritagehiphop.com. It's going to be revamped. Don't worry about it. Better things are coming. Check out this QR code to go to the TeePublic store to get shirts, merch, socks, whatever it is that you want with Heritage Hip Hop and our logos on it, even our character, the Prophet. You can check it out right there. And if you are a collector like me that like figurines, like the J Dilla toy or the Crowd Call Quest set, check out this QR code right here to go to super7.com/heritage hip hop, our store, to get some figures and to build your collection up. Because one day you never know. There might be a D.R.U.M.S Rugged toy or something.
Hey,
and he will go down in history 500 years from now, inspiring you, the youth, and the culture therein. Brother, thank you so much, and I appreciate you.
Thank you, Karel. Appreciate it, brother.
All right, y'all. May the Most High bless you. Peace. Hey, D.R.U.M.S, we made history.
We kept it rugged all the way through, Karel.
And we
real hip hop. Real hip hop. We here. Real hip hop. For real.